It's Mr. Box Office, the main event, the professor of truth and entertainment, the ratings killer. And if you don't know, you need to get to know. And welcome. Welcome to Box Office City. The fallout to the game yesterday, and where really, because I was chomping at the bit, and I can't have this on my mindset during the week because I can't be wasting my time with something that I've seen for how long now, and I can't keep this on my mind anymore, to be honest with you. And that's it. And normally it's a kind of a thing where people just expect, oh yeah, Mr. Box Office is just going to unleash, or he's going to be shouting, or he's going to say he's angry and all that, which again is a certain thing that is shouted at in certain types of ways that, unfortunately for a black person like me, and unfortunately I have to say this, oh, you're getting angry, oh, you're doing this, oh, you're doing that. And it's always thrown at people like myself because of what I am, you know what I mean? And I sometimes sit there and think, I'm actually being open about this now because I speak to a smatter about this, and I sat there and thought, you wouldn't be saying that to other people, but for me, you say it to me though, because I'm not that type of person, you know what I mean? I'm not, you're just showing my true colors and that, but it's like, no, that's not the type of person I am. No, it's just, you're allowed to be able to express yourself, and I think sometimes it gets to a point where I sit there and listen to people and say, well, they can say whatever they want about the team, and they're looked as intelligent. They looked as someone that, oh yeah, it's cool. They're cool because they've got the resume, they've got the qualifications. This was something that came out on Tottenham away yesterday, and that's the reason why Tottenham Hotspur will not go anywhere, because our fan base don't want to talk together, whether you're Levy in or Levy out. And this has been years. Certain people will say, oh, well, why don't we just back the process? Well, that's just blind hope, blind backing, which means absolutely nothing to me because I've done that since I was a kid, and that's it. So for me, it makes no difference in my life. That's the thing. And yesterday, I'll be honest with you, yesterday was a day where I didn't even want to watch the match. I actually predicted us winning the game because I was that so zoned out. It's unbelievable. That was it. And what I saw yesterday was the same things I've seen for how many years. And I'm not even just talking about the last 4 years. I'm talking about the last how many years of being a Tottenham fan since 1998. So for me, there's no overreaction here. It's just the fact that everything I said in June, and the thing that wound me up is that I was on the football terrace and everyone was licking the arse of twerking for Alan, of all people. And I remember Alan, I went on his channel and he was debating me most of the time, telling me, oh, you need to be balanced, Alex, Mr. Box Office, you need to be balanced. But he was getting all the credit from his buddy, his best buddy, Hassam, because all of a sudden now Hassam is the main to listen to now these days, because he was talking so much chest about Tottenham when I was sitting there thinking, wait a minute here, cool, you might have been saying it, but I was saying this from the day dot, when I was saying this to all Tottenham fans and they were calling me out. And who looks the good one now? Who looks the man now? Who looks the guy? Who looks sensible now? And I stuck by what I said. One thing I will say to everyone in the chat and everybody else, if there's people out there that need credit, because whether I disagree with them or not, and this is not going to be a structured show, it's just really just me just getting it off my chest, and that's it. And I'm going to say the same people, but one person in particular, and that's a Hotspur hippie, Paul. the Hotspur hippie Paul. He's known him for 20 years. I actually feel sorry for this guy because he backed this guy coming in for our club, Postecoglou, as Postecoglou from the very, very get-go. He said, yeah, I want this guy in charge of my club. He wants him. Unlike certain people that don't need him for 5 minutes. But then, over so more, his positiveness is just gone because he believes in Postecoglou because he's seen it done at Celtic and seen it wherever he's been, and that's it. Difference is, and this is the argument I have with certain Celtic fans that come back to me and say, oh, well, look at what he done at Celtic. He had a bad first year at Celtic, but then he really kicked on afterwards. What is the ultimate goal for Celtic every single year? Being the best. Being the best and achieving trophies and championships. That's the standard. So he knew when he came into Celtic, that was the standard. So when you look at Ange Postecoglou's expectations, he matches what Celtic want. That's it. So this is where the argument is. It's like, well, you didn't see him at Celtic. You didn't see him in Australia. You didn't see him in China. You didn't see him in this. Well, it's like, well, no. When you look at the goals of what Celtic had and these other people that he's worked for, their goals were up here matching the expectations of Postecoglou. So then he comes to Tottenham. And the expectations at Tottenham are playing great football. Well, he's already done that already. Dan's already said it. Big up Dan, by the way. Again, you know, might not agree with him, like the Hotspur hippie, but like Paul. But at the same time, you can see his point. And that's it. And he said from the very get-go, he's like, Ange had the easiest job to do is just play the ball forward. That's all he needs to do, is just play the ball forward and have a personality. Ironically now, after this Liverpool game so far, after the Chelsea game that we just had during the week, now people are questioning his personality. And that's it. It's just one of those things that I sit there and say, well, could you see this coming? You can argue this is no different to Nuno. It's just that he only had how many certain games, and then Strategy said, sorry, done. Fans are turning, done. Which is exactly what I've been saying since June. If that's the influence of the fans on the board that said that they believe in the manager, and it turns that quickly, they panic that quickly, why should I believe in the manager? But if you listen to someone like Jay, for instance, oh no, we don't want to do that because if we don't believe in the manager, how can you let the owners believe in the manager? And then you sit there and think, okay, so I didn't realise that I had that much influence on the ownership that supposedly should know what they're doing. It makes no difference, and it's affecting us massively. Whatever you say, yes, Daniel Levy's not on the pitch. No, he's not. But the point is that unfortunately, it's affecting us moving forward because we don't know the ultimate goals are matching up with Postecoglou. And now we come down to it now, we're at this moment, 4 losses in a row. And that's the theme of the show today. 4 losses in a row. We're getting question marks saying that the players are now down in tools for the manager. The manager that they were praising at the beginning of the season after the first 10 games. We're now starting to question Song as a captain. Well, I was there first time round saying that I don't believe Song as a captain. I was seeing more from Vicario. We're now looking at Romero, and he's going off on one on Emerson. Emerson that we were praising last season for stopping Man City scoring goals against us. We won 1-0, as well as Dyer and Davis. But we continue to say, oh, but we still like the fact that we got Werner. We still like the fact we got players that work hard for the team. You know, we still got to keep the likes of Kulusevski, who's been rubbish. Bentancur, who I say he's growing on me, but you can see his deficiencies because of his injuries. Maddison, who's not playing well at the moment, another one of our captains. We give Richarlison a little bit of a let a light on Richarlison, even though we all know this is not good enough for him. The goals that he's making is not good enough. We can see it, but we just say, okay, he's done okay though. He's got 11 goals. Well, no, because he didn't do well that season. Last season, he was rubbish last season. So what is he going on doing this season? I still think that goal that he scored against Liverpool was offside. And that's it. At the end of the day, when you look at Liverpool at the moment, you can see that regardless whether it's coming to an end now, you see the process that they had to go through. And that's it. On the game today, you saw exactly the problems that we've had all through the season, and that's it for me. The attack, useless. Had loads of possession, started really well in the game, but ultimately we didn't do enough and we were not clinical enough to hurt Liverpool. Liverpool were not worried. The only part that Liverpool started to get a little bit worried, and I think you can say that they only started to get worried because they started to let the pressure off, is when they were 4-0 up. And we made the substitutions, which really was a clear indication we needed to do that. My issue at the moment was when I saw, and you can say whatever you want about Emerson, we all knew Emerson was going to be a problem. You all knew Emerson was going to be a problem on that left. And what happened? He was a problem on the left because they targeted him, they doubled up on him, and that was it. You know, the whole thing with the midfield battle, it's important. We weren't strong enough in the midfield. We blatantly needed somebody strong up front. Son, when he came to the left, you start to see the real Son. And he was causing Liverpool problems. But that first half, even though we started well, after Liverpool got that first goal, there was no stopping Liverpool. And they were missing chances. And if we were more clinical up front, we could have punished them. You saw that against Crystal Palace. Now, for me, yes, the season's over. It was not a big deal what happened against against Liverpool. Literally, it was not a big deal whatsoever what happened. But my issue is that what happened? We didn't do enough. That was the problem. And players are getting away with being average. And this is where Postecoglou needs to take some accountability. I know people say we need more quality players. I think we need players that are quality that can adapt to different positions. Because this thing about playing in specific positions only can work so much. We can get this magical number 6 that everyone's clambering for, but what if he gets injured next season when we've got loads more games next season? Because we can't expect that number 6 to play every single game next season. We're going to have players that can adapt to different positions as well. Like we saw with Pochettino when he brought in players that were not favourable, but played in different positions. They were able to adapt to different positions. Hence the fact we had Eric Dyer that played in midfield. The way that he got Dembele from a striker to the midfield. The way that he brought in Foyth. Foyth, who's a central defender, played him at right back, and he actually played the inverted wing back role very well in the Champions League. I think there are ways that we need to adapt. This is where Poch has got this over Postecoglou at the moment, and this is where Postecoglou, this is where his negatives are at the moment. Now, I recognise he told us in June, yes, fair enough, but the things that you can't really say, you can't really defend him on is that you had youngsters that we were telling were class of 92 by somebody, and we said, well, they're not good enough. Okay, so what are you going to do with them then? Because they're just sitting in under 21s, just doing whatnot, and that's it. Nothing really, nothing else, and that's it. So you can't tell me that you can't find a under 21 that can't compete with Emerson Royale right now, who can't at least give it a go. Season's over. This is a build season to you, so why can you not do that? This is the problem. Like, we're saying that we can't put Romero, and I know Romero's, people rate him, people not rate him, but from what Adrian says, on Tottenham Away, and he said on lots of her streams, why could you not test out Romero as the number 6? And then put Dragerson in the defence? Why don't try that? The season's over. Why don't you try it? You could give another aspect to Romero's game, and that's it. It's not that he's not played a lot of the games already. He's had a couple of seasons at Tottenham right now. So why don't we see what he does at the number 6 role? It's just trying to look at different ways to use different players, but clearly we're not doing that, and it's just like we're just doing the same things every single time. Now, yeah, fair enough. He needs his players, cool, but in this first season, you are seeing certain things that are worrying a little bit. That's the only thing. Now, he needs the time. I recognise that as well. I'm not saying we should sack him, but at the end of the day, that's not my decision. My decision, you know what I feel about this whole process, and that's it. I'm not going to repeat myself. I can't, but there's just so many things that are not that are worrying, and it's the same things that I've seen before with other managers, and it's only going one way, and that's it. And the only way this changes is why I ignore the Celtic fans telling me that I need to stick with the guy. Ange has got a plan. Cool. Yeah, I hear he's got a plan. I'm not saying he hasn't got a plan. That's not the case. I'm not saying that. But I just need to see my board say, if you believe this process, if you had this discussion in June, why are you not putting your statement out there saying, here we go? But they're happy to do this, say that we're FFP kings, we're this and that, we're doing this, we're going to get investment and everything else. But I don't hear what am I going to do to try and improve this football club? What is the goal to do that? How is this going to help Tottenham Hotspur? Yes, the money's going back into the club, but how is this going to improve Tottenham Hotspur to achieve what they want to achieve? I'm hearing how we're doing it, getting the finances, and I'm hearing all the stuff about things about the stadium and what we're doing with the NFL, the Formula Ones and everything else. But I don't hear how's this going to affect trying to achieve what Ange Postecoglou wants to achieve. And Ange Postecoglou has made it quite clear, whether you like it or not, or you think he's deluded or not, and said, I want to win the league. But we're so focused on we're doing it the right way, we're doing this, we're doing that. And I sit there and think, well, it's cool doing it the right way, but you're missing out on opportunities that could be arising with Liverpool getting a new manager in, with Arne Slot. The fact that Manchester United, Chelsea are still building and that's it. It's all those things. But we're happy to have signings like Kulu doing absolutely nothing again. We're happy to have players like Werner that is not fit purpose for our club. We're happy to hype up our players, even though they've got no competition. There are so many things at the moment that are wrong with our club that I can't sit here and say, you know what, I can look at it differently now, right now. And yesterday's game proved it perfectly for me. And that's it. I've got no belief at the moment. I just feel, I actually wanted to just keep away from that game yesterday. I really did. I felt like I'm not achieving anything going and watching the game anymore, reacting to this anymore. I feel like I'm not gaining anything from this. I'm not getting paid to do this. This is just fun. But I just feel that, me watching the game back and trying to gain some positivity from it isn't going to gain anything from me right now. It's just for the lead. It's just for the board to just show some leadership, just show something to me and say to me, what are your goals? You know what I mean? What are you going to achieve? Show that you've matched the ambition of this manager at the moment, that you couldn't share the ambition of Conte and Mourinho, the guys that you were twerking for, by the way. Yeah, the guy that you're twerking for. The fact that Pochettino spelled out quite clearly where the club needs to go to. But then I get people on the other side, though, that are hiding from Mr. Box Office because they think I'm too angry. Again, so patronising and so annoying, and that's it. Because that's the easy thing to fight somebody like me, that I'm angry. And disrespectful. They throw at me saying, "Well, he needs time." Well, I needed time with Pochettino. What about Harry Redknapp? Did he need time? What about Martin Jol? We sacked at half time and brought in Ramos, won a trophy, then we sacked him off for Harry Redknapp. So for me, and the continued, the continued mistakes in the transfer market as well don't really help the situation as well. Because regardless whether he gets his signings or not, it still needs time. Because even if he does badly, the board needs to have the nerve to stick with the guy, stick with Postecoglou. This needs a 4-year plan. And with that 4-year plan, there will be highs and lows. But no one's telling me this board are going to stick with the man. Celtic were able to do it because they knew that he had the same ambition as what Postecoglou had. It's the same with Arteta with Arsenal. Arsenal stuck with Arteta because they saw something in him that they said, "Well, this is the guy that we're going to stick with for years to come, and that's it." So when mistakes were happening in the team and what was going on, they didn't panic. At the moment, you look at Tottenham and you look at the things that happened in that game yesterday and the things that happened against Chelsea, and you're sitting there thinking, and I can understand why people are saying Ange out, because I sit there and think, well, all these things were happening under Conte. He left and had that rant and said everything that everyone was thinking anyway. Ange is doing something worse. Our defence is not looking better than it was last year, even though our defence, we saw what we saw last year. And why are we not, why are we not putting more microscope on him at the moment? And it's everything I said in June. It's everything I said in June. I said this was going to happen. That's why I can't back this right now, because I don't know whether the board back this. Where's Scott Munn? Where's Johan Lang? Where are all these people that speak for the football side of Tottenham? Where are they? This is a time to show leadership and companion and show that we're all in solidarity at the moment. Where are they? This can be sorted in quite quickly for me. Very quickly for me. It just says to me, that's all you need to do. And it also gives a message out to those players that are dropping the ball for the manager as well. Just so you know. Just so you know. The players that are not putting it in for the manager right now, that are saying, no, not playing, we don't get his tactics, no. That gives a message to them and says, oh, you know what? He's staying. So, oh, bad. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Yeah. He's staying now. Shoot, I've got to really buck up my ideas here. I could be out of here. I won't be getting my wages next year because they'll want me out. Oh, gosh, they're serious. They're really serious. I think they really are serious, aren't they? I mean, I can't give any blind faith anymore, and no one's telling me I've got blind faith anymore, and that's it for me. I can't do it anymore, and I don't listen to people, and I mean, people, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, and people could say whatever they want of me, but I'm always going to be correct until I see something different, and that's it. And I don't care what he done at Celtic, because Celtic again matched the ambitions of Postecoglou. That's the problem. He then matched his ambition. We didn't match. We have proven that we've not matched the ambition of our managers. I mean, Leicester City are more decorated than us, and that's it. Simple. They're coming back to the Premier League right now, and that's it for me. Yesterday's game was just another game where I can't. I've seen so many games like that in my time frame as being a Tottenham Hotspur fan, and that's it. And it's one of the reasons why I look at people like Dan, young Dan, that's on Football Terrace, and I sit there and say, why is everybody having a go at him? I was like that when I was young, defending Tottenham every single time. It's just that I've just got older. I've got older and I've got more better priorities in my life. Let's be honest. I've got somebody that I'm very close to. She says to me, Alex, Tottenham, why don't you just come to the dark side Arsenal? I said, what are you saying to me? What are you saying to me? Why are you saying that to me, man, for? You know what I mean? Well, you're not doing that to me. It's like, well, yeah, but just do it for me, hun. Just do it for me, hun. And I was like, no, I care about you a lot, but I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. Please don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. She knew exactly what she was doing to me. She knew exactly what she was doing to me. She knew she got my heart. She knew. And please don't have a go at her, because she's a very special person in Alex's life at the moment. But the point I'm making is, and she's just she's a very special person in Mr. Box office's, well, Alex's life anyway. But it's just like, it just sums it all up, And then I got my brother, well, Alex's brother. Big up to him. He says to me, "Oh, Alex, you know what? I'm really positive at the moment." And he's an Arsenal fan. He's like saying, "You know what? I've got to give it to Arteta. I think I've got a really good feeling. Got a really good feeling about this season now." And I was like, just don't talk to me about this, man. Seriously, I don't want to talk about it. I really don't. I've got to deal with this every single week. You know what I mean? I've got better things to do in my time. You know what I mean? That's why I'm looking at the time at the moment, because I'm looking at it and I'm saying I need to bench later on. I need to go to the gym. Even though it's a bank holiday, I need to go gym. Days still have to go on. Still have to go on. That's all you need to do. But yeah, it's just I'm getting bantered by everybody. Like my dad, Alex's dad. He's like, I even said to him, I said to Alex's dad, I said, why do you get me to support this team? I blame you. I blame you. And he said, just looked at me with a sorry face. It's like, yeah, it just, but it doesn't define you as a person being a supporter of the top of who you support anyway. It's one of those things. It is one of those things, and that's it. I have to say some big hellos to people that are in the chat right now. Big up to everybody in the chat. Big up to everybody. Big up to you, Glenn Hoddle. What 11? Big up to you. Yeah, I did say we're going to win the bloody game. Yeah, I did, and the only reason, like I said, I think I sent a comment to you back, Glenn Hoddle, is that I thought because we had no pressure on us and Liverpool were really in bad form, I just thought, it's just like a Spursy thing for Tottenham to win, And yes, I was wrong. I had mud on my face, pie on my face, like they say. But I think it's also because I zoned out so much that I just didn't care. I just didn't care, and that was it. So, I mean, it's not. I normally would just say, yeah, I thought we were going to, normally I would just say we're going to get thrashed. And I thought, yeah, on a normal day, I think, yeah, we will get thrashed because I don't think we've got a good enough players to do, to do what we're doing. And especially up front, I think that's ruining us massively, absolutely massively. But it's just, that was the only reason I had for it. Now, and I knew I was going to be in the mud after that, and look what happened. So, big up to you though, Glenn Hoddle. Big up to you. Big up to you, Tom Thatcher. Big up to you. Big up to you, Mr. Mo B. Big up to you. Big up to Tommy G. Big up to you. You're a very big supporter of Mr. Bots Office. Big up to you. Big up to Didwex. Big up to you. Big up to you, Earwell Francis. Big up to you. Yeah, I feel your pain, man. We're allowed to exert ourselves as we viewed anger. Never allow nonsense to stop expressing yourself. Yeah, big up to you. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's one of those things that it's thrown at me a lot, and I've tried to keep quiet because I always try and keep it on the football, but I get to a point where I'm not happy to take it anymore. Because I've got a strong voice. That's what I was born with. I'm proud of it, and that's it. Simple. But yeah, it's just one of those things that I've just had to just say it out, and that's it. And yeah, thank you. Big up to you. Big up to you, R709. Big up to you. Big up to you, Philly. Big up to you. You're big. Yeah, big up to you. Big up to you. Big up, Alex. Mr. THFC Spurs needs improving in multiple positions. Do I see it happening in one window? No, Spurs, I would say, are 18 months behind. Yeah, I agree. And this is where I pivot to you, Phil, is where are we going to give it the 18 months or whatever it needs to take to see how the process goes to the end of the process? I would say no, because you just based on what? What I would say is that what is the ultimate goal of the owners with this manager? And the ultimate goal is to just money. That's it. There's no ultimate goal where in a few years' time, what do you want Tottenham to be achieving, trophy wise, or where do you want to see Tottenham in the league or such forth? And Newcastle have clearly stated, as from the very, very get-go, this is an example, they've stated, we want to be up there, challenging for the league in 5 years' time. That's the statement. That's a statement to Newcastle fans saying, this is our expectations where Newcastle will be in 5 years' time. Tottenham, yeah, we want to play great football. Great football. That's all. Nothing else. Nothing less. But you would know what the target was back in the 1960s, 1980s with Bill Nicholson and Keith Birkinshaw. Oh, you would know that. You would know that 100%. All you need to do is look at Wikipedia, which is what you need to do to find out when Tottenham are actually relevant. I've heard now people saying they'd rather have the Spurs team that won the FA Cup in 1990. But no. These teams at the moment we've got at the moment, oh, they're kicking. They're good. They're really good. Very good. Yeah. Because the Richarlison has a little bit of a brace, have a bit of a purple patch, and then let's see what happens. You know? The fact is, you see the captaincy at the moment. You can see why the captaincy is not fitting Son at the moment. I've said very, very boldly, I said Jordan Henderson is a bang average player, but he's a better captain than Son all day, every single day. He's shown that he can captain his side, Liverpool, to winning trophies. When the going gets tough, he's there. He's there as a leader, as a stalwart of the team, and that's it. You can't say that about Son. You can't say that about Romero. You can't say that about Maddison. When it's all going well, it looks good. But when it's not going well, where are you? I know where Vicario is. He's shouting at his players. He's telling them what to do. He's saying, what you doing? What you doing? That's what he's saying. That's what he's doing. But Son, oh no, we've got to be nice to people right now. We can't do it. Yeah, you see Romero, yeah, he's telling them, he's having an argument with Emerson, yeah. But is that for himself? Going out for himself? Or is that because he really cares? That's a question I pose to people. That's a question I pose to everyone right now. Where are our leaders? And it sums it all up perfectly when you've got the leadership from the top not giving us an identity of where we want to go, and you see our leaders on the pitch, and you wonder why we're not confident on doing anything in the next coming years. And Andrew's going to be falling off a cliff. Big up to you, Phil, and that's it. Big up to you, Andy. Andy, big up to you, mate. Big up to you. Big up to you, Mepen. Big up to you. Big up to you, Phil. Yep, the academy players have been here all season, have been going well. Where's the incentive? Yep, absolutely. And the thing is, though, it was clear to see, and I know Simon Davis and Postecoglou have got a great relationship, and that I understand that. I get it. I can see why people are saying what they're saying, but you know, it doesn't really help the fact that you knew that you couldn't rely on every single player. You saw it from the time that when we played against Fulham in the Carabao Cup, they weren't good enough to play our system, play his system. So really, it was kind of a highlight, really, where you sat there and thought, well, you need players that can really work, and that's it. When you did those, how many changes in the 9 changes after the Carabao Cup, and you saw it that they weren't good enough. There was worries there. There was kind of worries there, and we did nothing. We thought, you know, we just still carried on with the same players. And that's why we're where we are, and that's it. We need more quality players. We need 4 or 5 quality players in our squad that can compete. That can compete with the players that we've got at the moment. That can push those players to want to do better next season. It's funny, you see now, because of the form of what our teams were like at the first 10 games. And You saw Newcastle, and you saw Newcastle, you saw Chelsea. They were struggling. It's like the other way around now. You're seeing Newcastle thriving now, and you're seeing Chelsea now thriving. And the discussion is now, well, Eddie Howe's a good manager now. Oh, he's really good. Oh, Pochettino, he's cooking. He's cooking right now, isn't he? Very well. And these are some of the arguments I'm seeing right now, and it's just fascinating. It is really fascinating, and that's it. But big up to you, Phil, again. Big up to you, Terry Wright. Big up to you. I'm going well. I hope you're well as well, mate. Big up to you, Andy, again. Yeah, Kulu was a problem. Yes, he is a problem. I don't like Polo. I've said it all the time. Big up to you, Big Preach. Big up to you. Big up to Big Preach. He said he talked the talk and walked the walk on the rival show. Big up to him. And I want to see more of that on the rival show. Big up to you, bruv. Big up to you. Big up to you, Toxic Headshot. Big up to you. Big up to you. Big up to you, John Sonder. Big up to you. You did have some belief, as said in your short. We win. Yeah, I did, but they made a fool out of me. Made an absolute fool out of me. But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's what your football team does to you, isn't it? But I've zoned out, John. I've zoned out. I think that's the clear thing at the moment. I've zoned out of what. I've zoned out of this whole thing now. I've literally zoned out. I'm actually getting annoyed. This is why I'm doing the stream right now, because I need to just let it all out. And I need to do more. I need to do what Dan says. Big up Dan, by the way. You need to subscribe to Dan, the Hotspur Hood, because I need the same attitude as his. If I've got something on my mind, I just need to just do it. Just do it. Just do the stream, and that's it. Just do it. But yeah, I agree. It's one of those things. I've just zoned out. I literally zoned out. I don't care about Burnley. I'm going Man City. Don't know why now, to be honest with you, but I'm going. Just look at it as a trip. That's whatever. So yeah, I'm going to that game. I should be grateful, to be honest with you, because certain people can't even go to the games. You know what I mean? So I've got to be grateful, to be honest with you. But I just feel like a mug. So I just feel like, what am I doing? And I don't want us to win, because if Arsenal win the league, it's just the whole thing with Arteta winning the league. It just Anyway, I'll still survive. I'll survive, because we've survived through so much with football anyway, and it's only football anyway. But let's move on. Big up to you, John. By the way, big up to you, Phil. If Spurs are doing the right way, does it mean the likes of Liverpool, West Ham, and Arsenal are doing it the wrong way? I don't know. I just don't adhere to that notion. The fact is, Liverpool won trophies. Arsenal could win trophies. West Ham won the Conference League that we said were too good for. Right, and I know a lot of fans would take their right arm for a trophy like that in Europe, and that's it. And look at the respect that Declan Rice is getting now. He's won the Carabao, a Conference League. Look the respect he's getting. I bet Harry Kane would have got more respect as well if he got a Conference League as well. That's the thing. That's the thing. And that's the thing that's really funny, and that's it. They won't stick with him. He'll probably be gone. Yeah. Well, this is the point. This is the problem. This is the problem, John. 110%. You know, and you're seeing the noises already, which is what I predicted in June. 110%. Not twerking for Ange anymore. Drop was just huge. Big up to you. Big up to you. Big up to Phil. Big up to Phil. You really are helping me out here. Big up to you, Phil. Spurs are Burnley play one game a week. Barely playing one game a week, but yet we have fans wanting us to play 2 games a week. Yep, that's been That's been the issue. We're seeing injuries right now. You know, we're saying that about our defence. Our defence is struggling at the moment because we're letting in loads of more goals than we did last year, even though our defence was worse last year, you know. And I said it myself, I couldn't stand Virgil van Dijk, couldn't stand Davis. I wasn't a fan of Langley. I wasn't a fan of him at all, got to be honest. But that defence looked better than this defence at the moment. Even though we think our players are very, very good in this defence. Poro, Adoji, Van der Ven, Romero. And the concern for me is at the moment, Van der Ven, if he keeps on doing what he's doing, injuries will happen. And it's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And especially with 2 games a week in Europe, that we want to take seriously because we want to win something. And Ange said it himself. But anyway, let's move on. Big up to you, Phil, by the way. JJ, big up to you, JJ. Big up to Kuva. Big up to Kuva. I can't even keep up the blind faith anymore. This is just last month's of Conte all over again. I absolutely agree with you, Kuva. Big up to Kuva. The best funny guy on YouTube. Please subscribe to Free Spurs Boys with Bobby as well. Bobby as well, because Bobby's a very good guy. And big up to Bobby as well. Big up to everybody at Free Spurs Boys as well. All the Bobby's kids as well. Big up to them as well. And that's it. Big up to you, John. Big up to you. Alex is right. Ensures means wait, is that the case? Yep. Big up to you, Irish Hotspur. Big up to you, David. Yeah, well, David, you know my feelings on the manager. I need to be proving that they back the manager, and that's it. You know how I feel. But big up to you. Big up to you. But when you have fans like J-rated handling, yeah, well, unfortunately, he really kind of exposed himself when he said, well, if I don't believe in the manager, why does the board not believe in the manager? I was like, sorry, Jay, it just shows you've got an agenda here. You just care about what Daniel Levy wants at the end of the day. You're not showing that. You've just shown yourself. It's not on me whether the manager works out. It's on the board to say stick with the guy. Arsenal have shown clearly the example of why you should stick with the manager. You know, how they stick with the manager. How they gave him a new contract, Arteta, and it shut up a lot of Arsenal fans. And then Arsenal achieved what they achieved. So it made no sense what he said. And it just made me think that he's just making excuses. And that's it. And I don't get the thing that he makes him even more look like a joke. I don't see his excuses from Paul, the Hotspur hippie. And he loves Ange. He absolutely loves Ange. He's known him for longer than bloody Jay has. And I don't hear these excuses from Jay. I don't hear these excuses from Jacob. And I don't agree with them, but they are respectable to me. And I don't hear these excuses like I hear from Jay. So this is what makes him look like a fool. Sorry. And I'll say it to his face. Sorry, I'll tell it to his face. Big up to him though, but you know, I get what he's saying, but still, I'll say it to his face. Yeah, well, that's what I said as well. Big up to you, top six shot. Big up to you, Jeff. Tactics works. The players aren't putting away the chances, and the midfield isn't defending and keeping away the ball in the midfield. Yeah, well, the fact is, though, Jeff, it's the fact that the players are not good enough. They're not good enough. It's simple as that. They're not good enough, and I can't. You know, when I was defending like the likes of Winks, and you know, I had David in chat. He might have disappeared by now because I was just, unleashing at the beginning like I always do, just saying what I need to say out, getting off it on my chest. I was saying, well, it's all cool saying this, but you know, the players are not good enough. And the thing is, though, if we're going to start defending players like Richarlison, I want the flowers for players like Janssen, Soldado. Yeah, but there were better players than when they came in at Tottenham than Richarlison was. Let's be honest. Llorente, Postiga, Rebrov, you know, Pavlichenko. There's so many strikers out there that Canute, who went on to be a very good player, by the way, in the Spanish league, by the way. There's so many strikers that I saw out there that, we are being so nice, we're letting them off so much, but I'm not being funny. I've seen so many better players that have failed and gone on to do better. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, the fact that he's Brazilian's number 9 just shows why Brazil are in the mud. Sorry, you can't have him as your number 9. If he's your number 9, that's why you're in trouble as a nation. You know what I mean? That's why you're going to be in trouble qualifying, because you can't rely on Richarlison to be your main striker. They've had proper strikers like Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, even Neymar. And then you're talking about Richarlison. Really? We're not going there. Midfield, not good enough at the moment. I will give Bentancur a bit of a pass. I think he's been injured, but I see he's grown on me. So I'm willing to. I think he's got a different mentality to most of these players. Basuma, still question mark. Siep needs to go. Højbjerg needs to go. Sorry, Ellie. Sorry, the Queen Ellie. Hope you had a good Easter, Ellie. By the way, big up to you, Ellie. The Queen Ellie needs to go. Gil needs to go. The Argentinian Tom Carroll, aka Lo Celso, even though he wasn't looking too bad when he came on, but it was too little too late, needs to go. So he needs to get twerking off somewhere else where he was twerking for a move in the summer. And don't give him a new contract. I cannot believe I'm hearing this. Like, he needs a new contract. You having a laugh? You having a laugh? No, don't need that. Sorry. Those players need to go. I'm sorry. Ndombele should have gone out the door a long time ago. And just get proper midfielders that can play all positions. All positions. Not just the number 6. Not just the number 8. All positions. They've got a little bit more quality in them. They've got the scope to go off and do something about themselves. Do it. Go off and do it. Defenders that can play in different positions. I mean, yesterday, for goodness sake, why can you just put Van der Ven on the left, De Goose in the centre, with Romero, and that's it? Why can you not do that? But then you just choose to stick with the same thing. And I'm sitting there thinking, you're just waiting for us to for it to just blow up. And I can understand the criticism. I understand he's got his system, but there's got to be some adaptability from some of the players, and that's it. Doing the same thing. And the season's over. What are you going to lose? We weren't expecting to get top 4. So who cares? Who actually cares? Yeah, stick to getting to Europe. Cool. If we get Conference League, Europa League, who cares? But the point is, what are you doing? I don't think that's helping him at all. I'm sorry. That's the only thing I would say at the moment. It's not helping him. He's not using the youngsters, but he continues to use players that are just keeping on failing him. And these players are doubting him at the moment. So the players that you're sticking with are doubting you at the moment. Your leadership group are doubting you at the moment, possibly, allegedly. But you keep on playing these players, give them more chances. And they're sitting there thinking, well, he's still playing me anyway, isn't it? So, like, I'm not, regardless whether I'm playing or not, we're playing badly or not, I'm still playing. So I can still be in this road of just being the way I'm playing, and that's it. It's just this ridiculous thing about us at the moment. And I don't know what else to say, and that's it, really. Anyway, big up to you, Jeff, anyway. Big up to you. I've been chomping at a bit, guys. I've been chomping at a bit to say everything. Big up to you, right, Andy? Yeah, well, I wouldn't say clown, but you know, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. Yeah, big up to you, Rewind. Big up to you. Yeah, well, I don't think they could believe. No, I don't think they can believe it. No, definitely not. Big up to you, Terry. Right, big up to you. Big up to you. Big up to you. Top four revenues is a club goal. They know we're not winning the league under the current system. This is Manchester City's league under things until things change. Unfortunately, yeah, I agree with you. We don't have the ambition to compete with a Man City, and we haven't got the patience with a manager to compete with a Man City. And unfortunately, nothing's telling me that they're going to do that, and that's it for me. You know, and regardless whether he's making mistakes or not, a manager's allowed to have mistakes happen. It's just really a case of you got to have that confidence that you know, regardless whether he's making mistakes or not, he gets the time to do what he wants to implement, and that's it. And clearly, Ange Postecoglou needs time. He needs amples of time to do what he wants to do. You know, and he needs that time. Now, if he doesn't get the time, what do you expect him to achieve? And that's it for me. And that's the question to the board, not the fans. I'm not having the guy at the fans that's saying, Anja, I don't think we should say anymore. And the only thing that I would say to those people that saying, having the guy at those people that saying, Anja, you're only going to make it worse for yourself because you're only going to make them be even more Ange out. You've got to let it play out. You've got to let the board have some leadership about them and ignore the noise. If they believe in Postecoglou that much, which they should do, because they were saying at the beginning they were all twerking for him at the beginning, so nothing should have changed because he told them that this was a build season. But you know, if they're going to sack him, it's been justification why I said I can't back this manager. Or if he walks, it's justification why I didn't believe in the manager in the first. I couldn't back the manager because it shows there was a division between the manager expectations and what the board wanted, and that's it. And big up to you, disabled team. Big up to you. Big up to you. Big up to you, Autio Autison. Big up to you. Big up to you, Purple Records, 1972. Big up to you. Big up to you, Phil, again. Big up to you. Big up to you, GEM. Big up to Alex. You've grown leaps and bounds since you first started the channel. Always speaking the spirit of mind. Be nice to Richie. He's through a lot of. He's been through a lot off the pitch and injuries, aka Jay, the roller blader. Yeah, listen, I can't talk about that. What's gone on out of off the pitch? I can only judge him as a footballer. I can only judge him as a footballer, and that's the only thing I can judge him as a footballer, and that's it. And you know, I can't just say, you know, I can't, you know, it's not really for me to look at what's happened in his personal life because we never done that in the past before. But I can only judge him for what I expect for a quality player. And at the moment, unfortunately, I don't believe he is that player that will bring us to the next level. You know, he's not clinical enough. And I don't think we've got the time to wait around for this guy to do it, and especially his age as well. So I hear what you're saying, but unfortunately, I just don't think he's got the quality at the moment for us to move forward with him. So that's why I say we need to sell him. honest football ability, and that's it for me. And if he proves us wrong next season, we'll see what happens. But he has to do better than what he done this season. I think people say 11 goals are good for him, well, he's got to do better next season. Simple as that. So that's the way I see it. And but big up to you, JME. Big up to you. Hey Alex, hope you are doing well. Want to believe in Ange and his style, but don't see how better players can make his style better. Well, yeah, true. I mean, it's one of those things that we have to wait and see. And also, I have to make this. I have to I have to be very, very clear on what I'm going to say here. I haven't proven my point yet. I have not proved my point yet. I haven't proved my point. What is going to happen in distant future? I haven't proven my point yet. My point will be proven next year if Ange is still here or not, and then we'll see whether I'm right or not. If hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. Shem. Hopefully I'm wrong. I think hopefully we can get some better players with a quality that can adapt to different positions as well. But we have to wait and see. The statements that are coming out at the moment, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. And that's the thing at the moment. So I think that's the thing. So we have to wait and see. We just have to wait and see. Big up to everybody in the chat. Big up to you. Big up to you, elite baller. Big up to you. Not a Tottenham fan, but it's better. But you look better with the Charlton Pams on. Be careful, or he may want to leave. Well, to be honest with you, mate, I wouldn't care if he left, to be honest with you. He only looked good because it was a striker that was up front. That was it. Simple. But big up, I have to disagree with you there. I mean, respectfully disagree with you there, elite baller. But I get what you're saying. It did look better, but I think Liverpool did, fell off, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Question, big up to David. Question from Career. Do you prefer Son on the wing or up front? I think at the moment, I believe he's better on the wing at the moment. I didn't mind him up front. I thought it was the way he was going at the beginning. But clearly, the way that we want to play, it doesn't suit him at the moment. And we're going to stick to the way we are playing at the moment. I don't see this. I don't see him as that striker that we need. I think we need somebody who's a proper number 9 up front for me that can work with Son. Whether that would be Son, because I think at the moment, I think if you do get an offer for Son, you might have to let him go. He needs to win trophies for himself, and even his nation is telling us that as well. But yeah, to answer the question, I think at the moment, I think it's proven right now, Son on the wing is better than Son up front for me. Hope that's answering your question, David. Big up to you. Big up to you, Lee Smith. Big up to you, Lee Smith. Big up to you. Big up to you, William Scanlon. Big up to you. Yeah, it's pants. It's absolutely pants. It's been awful. Absolutely awful. I don't even want to go there anymore. Yeah, absolutely awful. Big up to you, Brandon Bordeaux. Sorry if I got that wrong. Do you think players that those players that go on your do well elsewhere are a reflection of Spurs fans' impatience? Good question. Would I say that? No. I don't know. I wouldn't know, to be honest with you. I listen. These players, I think the impatience of these players that go out are based on the fact that I've seen players that like Dele Alli, who else was there? Bergwijn, Wamfoyth. There was others. There was others out there. Canute back in the day. There was others. I can't think of the top of my head at the moment that were not playing well for Tottenham. Well, we're all right. They're all right. They had something about them. Moira as well. That was another one as well. Even though I couldn't stand it. Lamela. That was a perfect example. Lamela. We said we need to let him go because they're not good enough. Not good enough. Yeah. But then we get other players that are not good enough, and we're championing them. I'm sitting there thinking, well, I'd rather have Lamela back in my team because if we're going to start championing people like Richarlison, the Richarlisons, the Werners, the Johnsons, the all these players, well, I've got players that we were chastising out of the club that I sit there and think, well, we might as well have those players back if we're going to defend these players. And let's be honest here, I would have that player than this player I've got at the moment on my right hand. I have rather have these players that we let go of on my left hand. So really, maybe it's kind of answering your point a little bit. Maybe I would, with reflection, have these players that we let go of, but these players at the moment are no different to what we let go of. So then again, it just answers the question about quality. That's all it is. It's just quality issue. That's what it says to me. And that's it for me. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question, brother. Big up to you. Big up to you. Just what is going on? Yeah, this is the question I asked. I asked this because I sit there and say, what is going on with Dragusin? What is actually going on? Because I don't understand what is going on with Dragusin. Because I sit there and think, well, we were making such a big hoo-ha about him coming in. He comes in, he's only had 1 or 2 games, one from the sub bench and one when he played against Fulham, which we got battered. And I thought yesterday was a perfect opportunity, but we still don't use him. It's just confusing. It's just confusing, very confusing. That's it for me. Big up to you, Stell, Tottenham away. Big up to you, Levy out. Big up to you. Big up to you. Then LN10. Big up to you. Big up to you. Big up to you, Jummy. Lol. Big up to you, Osherman. I think we need to buy Osherman. I don't think Osherman will ever come here to be honest with you. Big up to you though. Big up to you, R7 explosive. All we need is good wingers in the system. Holding mid, Paulinho, Nico Williams. Wouldn't mind Eze also. I think there's a lot of people that are saying that as well. Eze, he's got to stay fit. Eze and Elise, they need to stay fit because their injury records are poor, very very poor. And with more games he'll play for Tottenham if we're in Europe, which we should be in Europe, that's the only concerns I have for those wingers. Nico Williams, I've heard a lot of. He looks good from the videos I've seen. Paulinho, good player. Neto, like Neto. But again, injury record, question that as well. Wouldn't mind him as well. Quality players, though. Very quality players. And it's something that we need to do. But the attack is hurting us massively. If we have more clinical front line, we would be more successful. Yes, we need to sort out the defense as well, 110%, but we do need to sort it out, definitely. But big up to you. Big up to everybody in the chat. Big up to everybody in the chat that are watching at the moment. Yeah, big up to you. But yeah, it's one of those things that for me, at the moment, 4 losses. I'm not panicking, no. It does show, though, that there are a lot of problems at Tottenham Hotspur. And things will need to change up there in terms of giving us the expectations what they want, and then we'll see what happens. But I don't see any change. I don't see any change whatsoever. Yesterday game just didn't give me any more confidence I needed, and that's it for me. We were losing battles all over the pitch. The fact that Poro was our best crossover ball shows a lot, and he's got to be inverted. I do see the whole thing about this inverted tactic. It's causing a lot of problems. It's just too congested in the middle, and there's no out ball. It's also clear to see that our attackers are just not going there, and I think everyone. It's not that the fact that he's getting found out. Yeah, he's getting found out, but I just don't know. He's not really shown another option of what to do. You know, he hasn't used any other players in a different way. The only thing he did yesterday, and he had to do it because he had no choice. He started to play Skip as the left back because Emerson was getting absolutely rinsed. Then he decided to play Richarlison up front. And I do agree with some people in the chat. Yeah, it looked better when he did that, but it was just kind of too little, too late. And it just looked like, well, I need to give them a chance. You know, I don't want to lose them on. And I was just like, well, no, they've not shut. They've failed against Chelsea, and you gave them so much an opportunity then, but you don't want to do it now. And I feel, I just feel that this is just this has been a problem for so long now, and it's like we're just so light on some players that are just not good enough. You know, Basuma, not, you know, yeah, he looked good at the start, but clearly, when the expectations are high, he's just not doing it. You know, he cracks under the pressure, and that's it. And unfortunately, top players don't do that. You know, and it's unfortunate, but this is the way. You can't expect those sort of things to happen. You know, it's not that's not good. That's not good at all. There's just so many times we lost the ball, and when we lose the ball, we get punished. There was times when Liverpool lost the ball as well, and we did press really well. I mean, that first part of the first half was very good. It's just, what do we actually create? What do we actually create? And really, it wasn't a lot. I still think that first goal, I suspected it was offside because I looked at Richarlison looked a little bit early, and that's it. But maybe because I'm just not a fan of Richarlison, that's it really. You know, I don't know. But it's just one of those frustrations for me, really. And I think for me, I'm going to try and be less reactive now on my videos and my shows now, and try and enjoy it for what it is now. You know, being a Tottenham fan now, and just take it how it is, because at the moment, I'm not gaining anything from this now. You know, even though I'm feeling so philosophical at the moment. I feel so just yeah, just like feel fed up and bored the whole situation now. And I'll end it like what I said before. I can't. Blind faith is just not good enough for me anymore. I don't do blind faith. I don't do it. You know, it's not for me. You know, I need them to see it for myself, and I've got to be very tough on myself on that, because I can't change it, and I'll get criticised for it, and I can't change that stance at the moment. I can't. If I feel like that, I don't want to do that either, and And it's not even that, because I'm not going to start this Levy out thing. I hear people saying Levy out and all that, and it's fine. But like, I know he's not leaving. So really, it's just really a case of showing me something different. But I think Danny summed it up perfectly. Perfectly for me. He said, when these owners came in, it was all about making money. And nothing's changed since then, hasn't it? You know, nothing's changed. And it is what it is. And that's it. But yeah, I'm going to be wrapping up the show soon. Big up to everybody in the chat. Big up to everybody who's watched. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Please like and support the channel. I'm over 1,000 subscribers. I want to get up to 2,000 subscribers now. That's the target right now. Big up to everybody in the chat as well. But yeah, please support. Please subscribe if you're new around here. Please just put a like and subscribe on the channel. He's also put a notification on when I go live, because I'll be trying to do a little bit more of this, especially when I've got something on my mind. I'm gonna want to say something. I'll do a live, and that's it. So I'll be really appreciative as well. You'll get more content like this. Also, get some more less reactive content, which I've been promising, and I'm still working on, and that's it. And yeah, that's all I ask. That's all I ask. I do thank you for the support. Thank you for the support to get me over to 1,000 subscribers as well. And that's it. And yeah, yeah, that's all I was saying. That's it. It's been a bit of a somber show, let's just say. And that's not having to dig at anybody. It's just the mood I feel at the moment. I feel it's good to unleash. But that's all it is, and that's it for me. Hope everybody has a good week. Enjoy the sunshine. Enjoy it with your loved ones. Enjoy the day. Enjoy life, because there's more bigger things in life than football. And keep strong. It's hard out there right now. It's very, very hard out there right now. One thing I will say, and I'm going to say this, I will say his name. I like Sean. But I do like him. But and I like Tottenham away. I like all the Levy out. I like this. This needs to be debated now. I'm tired of Tottenham streams. One side saying what they want to say, another side saying another side. If we're gonna be serious about wanting to see our Tottenham team being successful, we've got to put our issues aside with each side. Go on the stream. We Are Tottenham TV are right there, and we all say we're going to have this out. One thing I will say, Barnaby and Sonny did that. All this having a go at each other and then saying, I've got qualifications, so I'm better qualified to say what I need to say about Daniel Levy and all this, needs to stop. It's actually getting to a point where I'm getting to a point where we didn't need to talk about this like 20 years ago, when we were not on YouTube, when it was not on YouTube, we didn't need to talk about this, about our jobs. But all of a sudden now, I should be qualified to speak about being a Tottenham Hotspur fan now. It's ridiculous. No one knows about Alex's job. You wonder why? Because it's none of anybody's business. It's none of anyone's business what I do. And why should I need to know? Why do they need to know? All you need to know is my opinion on Tottenham Hotspur. That's all you need to know. You can debate that. And the problem is, what the problem is that the fact is that when you keep on talking about your job, which is what Sean does, he wonders why he gets criticised. If he stuck to the football, rather than keeping on talking about, oh, I'm qualified to talk about this, qualified to do that, qualified to do this, this is why you get criticised. I don't need to know about your job. All I need to know is what your opinion on Tottenham is. Jay does it as well, and I don't like it. All I want to know is about your opinion on Tottenham. Because then you're complaining, people are going at you personally. Well, if you talk about your job so much, unfortunately, you're leaving yourself open. And unfortunately, this is the problem. I can't sit here and I don't talk about that. I don't talk about it. I don't talk about political issues. I don't bring that all up. But it just shows you where this is going and why I think this ownership is not here for the football and only for money. And that's it. I think there's no wonder why we've got this divide. And people can say whatever they want, saying, oh, we need to be nice to each other, we need to do this. It's not going to happen if we don't put our issues aside and say, this is what was going to happen. But that's the problem. It's all about, oh, well, I've got this to do. I've got this job. I've got my career and everything else. And it's all about the money. I'm afraid to say what I really want to say because I don't want it to affect it. You're supposed to be a football fan. And before anybody says I'm criticizing people, saying that you don't want to be angry, you need to come to the Tottenham Hotspurs Stadium and see some of the language I see there. See some of the language I see there. And then tell me I'm aggressive. Some of the stuff I've seen, I've had someone go at me at the stadium as well. I've seen people go at Ben and Sim. Big up to them. Try it. I've seen a lot at that stadium. And sometimes I'm sitting there thinking, why is everyone having a go at me when they don't even see some of the stuff that I see at the stadium? I was sitting next to somebody, story, for the Arsenal game, and literally he wanted to go at someone. He wanted to go at these Arsenal fans. And I was sitting there thinking, wow, you're taking it that much. Another guy was sitting next to me, was sitting there thinking, what the hell is going on here? What is he wanted to literally want to fight most of these Arsenal fans. He was sitting on the north stand and literally wanted to go at these Arsenal fans. And I was sitting there thinking, like, this is just football, man. No disrespect, this is just football. Like, they're just celebrating because they're top of the league. But it was just fascinating. And I was sitting there thinking, people have a go at me saying I'm too loud and all that and all this. They ain't got a clue. They ain't got a clue when they don't go to the stadium. They ain't got a clue. If they went to the stadium and saw what I see at the stadium, you think I am PG compared to some of these people you see at the stadium. And that's it. But it won't change, and this is why nothing will change. And that's it for me. You know, we need a united front. If we're going to start saying that, we need to support Ange, well, where were you when you were protesting? You know what I mean? It's like, again, it's like I'm not having a go at you if you don't want to protest. But the thing is, though, we can't keep on saying we are all together. We need to be all together. But when certain people want to do something, we don't support that person, those people. And then we're all having a go at each other. And then we say, well, if you do this, you're not going to help the situation. You're going to make that side go one way and that side go another way. That's it. Simple. Now, you might not listen to me because I'm someone that's negative. Yeah. The guy that actually told you what was going on in June, by the way, but you know, I don't get the credit, you know, because according to Football Terrace, Alan and Kate talk more sense than I do. But I was telling everybody, I was talking to Kate and big up to Kate, by the way, because I do like her, and Jim, by the way. But so this is not having a go at them. I like them. But it's like when people were saying what they were saying to me, when in June, I was saying what I was saying, everyone was having a go at me. But, you know, all of a sudden now, now everyone wants to stand up and talk the truth all of a sudden because it's cool. It's cool. When it's not cool, I want to see you do the same thing. Because that's what I've been doing the last 4 years. There was another girl called Ellie that did the same thing. She did the same thing. She got chastised for it. When we didn't like Mourinho, we was all about, said Mourinho's useless. Why are we getting Mourinho in? But we said nothing. No one said anything to defend us. No one did anything. And that's it. But anyway, I've got to go. I've got a date with the gym, and that's it. And yeah, everyone have a good day. Have a good evening. You'll see more of me next time. And take care of yourselves. And as always, on the day after, when Tottenham Hotspurs shown again why they're Spursy, shown again why we're not good enough, shown again why there's receipts for people calling me scum, and shown again why I can't believe in this process, and they need to show me and show some leadership, Daniel Levy and the board, and shown again why I always will support the club and always stick up for the club, but always talk the truth, and that's it. And as always, like I say, every single time as we close, if you didn't know, get to know, support your boy, Mr. Box Office, subscribe and like, and come on, you Spurs. And I'm out.